What's up with it, man?
Yo, what up? Oakland,
Chilling, bro.
California in the building. Salute, family. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I try not to. Try to
Yes,
be
sir.
grateful instead of complaining. I don't know if we did a show on gratitude, but we should have. We haven't.
Yeah, we
Uh,
definitely should. That's next one. Gratitude.
all right. I'll make sure we didn't do it, but yeah, let's do it. Um, everybody, welcome. Episode 16, Talking Crazy with our man A Plus, Hieroglyphic Souls of Mischief. My name is Tamal. This is our monthly build on mental health. The most important show, most important thing that I do in this hip hop shit, man, to keep it 100. And this is two friends talking about everyday shit, mental health shit, life, just chopping it up. So
Yeah.
thank you again for doing this, making the time, man. I know you're always busy traveling around the world, making people smile, kissing babies and shit. But thank you, man. Really appreciate you for just, consistency in doing this.
Man, it's my honor to do this. I enjoy doing it. Thank you, my brother. Um, yeah, this is one of my the favorite things I do as well.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the response from people. If we could just see, if anybody gets anything from it, I always feel good about that. It reminds me of like somehow being of service, man. And it's just us chopping it. It's not like we're on a podium or doing any crazy declarations. We're just talking. So yeah, I love it, brother. And it's always good to catch up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you share real quickly, though, what this show is not?
This show is not uh, a show with medical doctors. We are not experts. We're not diagnosing anyone. We are just some brothers talking. We're not better than anybody else. We're not perfect. We're often sharing our faults and our wisdom through experience, and just our personal experience. We're not declaring right or wrong. Just two brothers with opinions talking about a topic that's important to us all. So we're not going to be uh, trying to tell anyone what to do and have these grand conclusions that'll solve people's problems, or you know, declare that these people are wrong about this or whatever. This is just our opinion.
Right. And as we try to do, if we are sharing from some source or some training or background or something, we'll share that. I mean, our goal is just to share what's helped us, what hasn't helped us. We can, we go up and down like this, just like everybody else. So it's just talking, getting it out there. So very important that we both of us that we do this. And as we always say, take what you want, leave the rest, man. You may not get anything out of 59 minutes you hear, but you may hear something for the 1 minute that's helpful. And, like as you've said before, we're here to learn as well. So, yeah. So let's get into
Yeah.
my pin the topic. Why don't you tell everybody what the topic is? I'll pin it now.
The topic today is discipline. For every episode, we have a different topic, and today is discipline. Discipline is, and I'm reading right here, is defined as discipline is the practice of training oneself to follow rules, maintain self-control, and adhere to a set of values or goals to achieve desired outcomes. And that's not a Webster's dictionary. That's a chat GPT
Chat GP, please.
chat GT plea. Yeah, so discipline. And the reason why that's so important to me is because, well, what's a trip about it is we don't have to really motivate ourselves to do the things that we want to do, the things that bring us joy, or the things that we want to do that bring us instant gratification, or anything that we're somehow personally motivated to do. It's not difficult to get us to do those things. That's why discipline is a completely different thing, because I don't know if you call it discipline if you're always doing the things it takes to do the things you want to do, right? But with discipline, you may have a goal or goals, or yeah, and there's a set of things that you must do to make it come to fruition, and often those things aren't things that we want to do. And so it takes discipline to do those things, the things that we don't want to do, that we know will further us on our goals or in our plan. And I just think that's very interesting, because we fall in all different areas when it comes to that as people in our own personal lives. For me, I'll take hip hop for as an example. Hip hop, to excel at hip hop, in my experience, it took a lot of tedium, a lot of hard work, a lot of practice, a lot of not taking no for an answer, a lot of time, a lot of hours, a lot of brain power just over the years to make my ultimate goal of being an artist and coming out and making respectable music. It took a lot for that to happen.
Right.
Now, a lot of that stuff wasn't fun, and sometimes just weren't fun at all. But I was so driven about it that nobody had to tell me to do it. I just had that all or nothing. I'm gonna do everything it takes. The only way I'm gonna stop is if I literally can't go. Something stops me.
Mm.
That's different than for me personally. That's different. I didn't need to have discipline for those things. I just had to drive for them, and whatever I wanted in that instance was I would do anything that it took to get there. And discipline's a whole. Go ahead.
I still think it takes some. I hear what you're saying. The difference is, I still think it takes some discipline to just even stay the course, because there's so many things that can get in your way. So even though because I can speak from experience, I've wanted to do something and I still ain't did it. So you know what I'm saying? I still think it takes. We'll get to it, but I just wanted to add on. I just think it takes, even though you loved it, like I'm sure over the past 30 years, there are things that may have gotten in the way or things like that. Like, so I'm just saying salute to me, there's discipline in staying consistent. So that's, to me, that's where, like, so even if it's something you love, I still think kudos, that's discipline to stay in the course.
Well, I agree to a degree, and I hear what you're saying, but is it discipline if it was like, if your personal want made you hardwired to do it anyway? You know, like, well, I will say this. I will say this too. It didn't really, I guess it took discipline to stay in the game once I realized what it actually entailed on the business side and got into the game. But before then, it was just I looked at it as all drive, you know, determination.
Well, yeah, and I'm looking,
you know, like
for the longevity part of it, I guess.
Yeah, that takes discipline for sure. But for instance, you know, at that same time, while I was doing all the things it took to hone my skills, to be a part of my collective and to bring the collective together and all those things in the early days, you know, my parents still had to be like, man, wash your clothes, your laundry is piled up, you know, like, no discipline there, you know. But at that same time, I was doing any and everything to accomplish this thing that I was motivated about.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what made me, long story short, I was thinking about that, and it made me think of discipline, like trying to find out where is the line to where it's not discipline, and how I figured it, you know, it might be good conversation because I didn't have an immediate answer in my head. Although, you know, discipline is a familiar topic, I was like, that's interesting, that's intriguing.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I wasn't even looking at it like that when you brought up the topic, and as I was putting a couple notes in here, I wasn't looking at it from that angle. I was looking at it more of like, I guess it's just having discipline to. For me, I first of all, I'm really happy you picked the topic. I mean, it hit me right in the face. It was something I've been like kind of like dealing with a lot lately, and my lack of discipline over the past few years, to be honest with you, in some areas of my life, and it's gotten me fucked up. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, got me like, because as you said, we do what's important for us. We'll put time in for whatever's important. And we'll do whatever. If it's bullshit, we'll do that. If it's dope, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. If it's important, we're gonna do it. We're gonna put the time in. So I've been wrestling with that, like just the discipline to do the discipline to not do dumb shit. I guess to put it simply, into the discipline to kind of get back on some things, some into some habits that I was in before that took discipline from me because it's not my nature. So there you go, like something that it's like harder for me. Maybe let's say if you like working out or something like that, stopping and starting or certain things like that. So I was looking at it from that level, not really looking at it like how you said, well, is it discipline or is it drive? And so in my case, you know, I have it. I'm looking at it directly from that more like, I guess, military angle. Like, you
Yeah.
know, that's I mean, in terms of just my own
No,
personal, I'm saying.
you know what? I agree. I think that's. I'm also thinking about it like that as well. I mean, that's really when we hear discipline, that's the first thing we really think is like, parental discipline, strict military discipline, strict, like teaching strictness, and the normal connotation and the normal stigma. So I'm right there with you. Like the other part was just like a little tweak, like you know what I mean? Like, is it discipline when? But yeah, first and foremost, the general definition widely understood by people would be more associated with regimen, strictness, and yeah. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I mean, yeah, that's like the meat of the topic. I believe. Like
Are
the
you
rest was kind of just like,
are you disciplined about like and for me it's a mix of certain things. Certain things I'm very rigid and structured about. Certain things, and you'll probably be like, damn, he's a fucking stickler about that. Yeah, and then there's certain things I don't give a shit about, which I probably should. You know what I'm saying? So, and in terms of like, but like, the time my man brought up something. The time thing has always been a thing for me in terms of like, being disciplined about time and not wasting time. I hate wasting time. And so one of the things from just discipline for me is like if I feel like I'm wasting time, or if I feel like this, like, unless I'm relaxing, that's active. I mean, but if it's like I don't, if I'm not a small talk guy, I'm not a fucking like what are we talking about? Like, what do you like? Like let's have a conversation or let's not talk. Like, so for me, time is a big thing in terms of like, I structure myself around that a lot because of my mom. My mom used to have me to the airport, son, before 9/11, 3 hours early, like lamping in the motherfucking gate. Like I live in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So time's been a big thing for me over the years to kind of help with my discipline. But I'm still, this whole thing's important to me, man, because I've just, it was when you said the topic a couple months ago, I was like, it just smacked me. I'm like, oh shit, this is a message I gotta fucking. So I'm
I
eager to hear
think.
what you say, yo.
I,
Like, how do you use this in your incorporate discipline in your life?
well, first off, I think the topic came from our last discussion. It came up while we were
Mm-hmm.
doing the episode last time, and discipline came up, and he was like, "Man, that should be the next one." But discipline. I mean, for me, it's a trip, man, because I I wasn't. I didn't grow up with lack of discipline. I had Jamaican parents in a Jamaican household, so I had discipline in the household. And I came into the world with a certain set of discipline. The thing is, I got a record deal when I was 17, and signed it when I was 18. Was out in the world, quote unquote, quote famous by the time I was 19, and I didn't really, although I'm first to get at anything, and I'm first to like whatever we got to do, I'm there, and I'm reliable. Outside of that, I didn't have nothing to. I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I didn't have to get up early. I would get up early for anything I needed to get up early for, no problem. Punctuality, being punctual is not a problem for me. I'm very punctual, but for like fresh out of high school, I got this money I never seen before, and this notoriety, and dreams coming true. Dreams since I was 8 coming true. There was nothing there in the world to give me discipline beyond my motivations. There was nothing in place. Like who was going to say anything? You're doing fine. I, um, I was the first guy to move out and get my own spot and live on my own and stay on my own for mad years and have never, like mad early in the game. Like, so I didn't, all I had to do was do what I needed to do to get paid. And I was doing that. That was my, and I'm saying that for necessities. I'm not saying I'm like, oh, I need to get paid. That's all I'm thinking. It's like if I rapped and everything was popping, I would get money. I didn't really have to wake up early for nothing. I didn't like for mad years. I didn't buy a car because what for? I'm not gonna buy one when I can get a ride anywhere at any time. And I just wasn't a driver dude. So I say all of that to say I didn't have much of my life that was motivating me to be disciplined beyond what I wanted to do
Right.
and what I felt like
That's
doing.
interesting.
So so uh and I would, I wasn't failing or anything, but later in life, I found out that, like, no matter how well I may have been doing, not having those certain disciplines in place that I didn't really need. And again, I'm not saying I was like a slacker or anything, but just didn't have to. I had my own schedule for decades, and I had to work hard. Sometimes I'd be gone for months, but I pretty much had my own schedule.
Yeah.
Now, like later in life, I realized that I had some other goals that I had developed over the course of my life that actually required a lot of these disciplines and these certain nuances that I didn't have to pick up um, in the years prior. And fortunately, again, I've never been a slacker, so I'm down to learn what I need to do and figure things out. But it wasn't easy, like at one point, and I got to say this too, more than probably, I started before before I started like thinking things a little bit differently. But COVID actually being in it allowed me a lot of time and a lot of thinking and a lot of real introspection to figure out how I guess I'm speaking on it kind of lightly because it was a bigger task than I'm making it sound like.
Mm.
I was like, damn, I got to fix mad shit. And I'm like in my mid 40s. So, like, fortunately for me, I'm not like stuck in my head and I'm always open to learn. I'm not in a prison of my own perception. I'm open to learning other things. But, I realized that I had to change hella things. And a lot of those things were just basic discipline things. Like, having a schedule, having everything planned out. Now that worked fine for when I'm going on a tour and I have a show. Man, give me the itinerary, give me the everything. I got all of that. But outside of that, I wasn't doing that for anything in life except things I wanted to do. And even
Mm.
then, I wasn't planning them out. I was just going and doing shit. Like, I want to do
Okay.
this. I'm about to go do this.
That was
So
this was
yeah,
giving me like I was just freaking me out hearing you even say that. Like I can't even just because for me I can't even I couldn't function like that. So yeah.
what I realized that I couldn't continue to function like that if I wanted things, my next years and my goals ahead of me to come to fruition. I had to change a lot of shit, and the time during COVID allowed for a lot of introspection, a lot of planning, a lot of like self examination. Actually, a quest for self mastery. It kind of just set it all off because I realized that certain disciplines just when you're looking at a daunting task, you got to chip at the rock, right? So I'm gonna start with discipline. I started getting up early. I started working out. I started hell. I never really ate bad, but I got on a stricter diet. I started like a lot of that went with hanging around different people too, and like again another thing we talked about on many episodes is dumping old baggage and letting shit go and things like that. But that was all a part of the discipline was a part of all of that growth and evolution. And that's why, I mean, discipline was really the foundation of doing it all. I had to start there because you can't, you have an end goal. Well, at least I'm talking about myself. I had an end goal. I didn't really see all the steps in between, but I saw some stuff right in front of me. And a lot of that was just like, okay, just structure a different foundation altogether. Well, not altogether. I'm still me, but I'm saying change some things, establish a regimen, establish some some structure. Like now I get my alarm goes off at 5:30 every morning. I'm up at 5:50, easy, like it's nothing. I can't sleeping in for me is like 7:30. I'm like, damn, I need to get up.
Yeah.
I can't even sleep no more. But that took time, and once I started doing all the little things just start falling in place. And discipline was kind of like the rock of the change. Like, you have your own foundation of self, but what I built on that was a foundation of change through discipline. And it's a daily thing. And, you change things as you grow, as I grow. I don't want to say you, like I'm telling people what to do. Just speaking for myself, but yeah, man. And after a while, certain things that had to be uh, imposed and adopted as disciplines of just became regular, and it just building from there. And that's how come in my mind, I'm like, that's it. You don't really have to have all the answers. You can start doing some of that shit right there, and things will start to come into place. You'll just see the next thing, and you'll be good. Like certain things, you got to be good enough at certain things to even see the next thing to do. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was reading mad books. I was, hanging around successful people and listening to what they were saying, and just taking a toll of the stuff, and trying to, when you're dealing with yourself, lying to yourself is the worst thing you could do. And you could
Or,
see people, you could hear how people sound who do that to
right.
themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They sound a certain way when they talk to you,
Right.
So we always talk about that, the honest conversation with self.
Yep.
A lot of all of our topics always come back to the overall topic of mental, one's own self, mental health, and what one can do to fix it, or to, yeah. We're not trying to fix people. That may not have been the right
You good.
word, but
Good.
to change things, to
You
change some
good.
things, But yeah, man. So discipline, it, it's a building block. It's a foundational thing to me, in my opinion. Like, like, we can want certain things, but we have to do certain things to be ready for those things, and we can want them all day but never get them if we don't do the things. And I don't want to. I'm definitely not trying to sound like Mr. Like, hey man, I got it all figured out, but this is an everyday thing, and I have to have people in my life be like, slow down, man, celebrate the small victory, bro. Chill. You could, because we all got our things, man, and I could just keep going and going and going, and that in itself is not good. Like, the discipline of resting is a thing as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, me, I could just keep going, man.
It's all, it's all up. I mean, I think I was looking at some of the comments too. I mean, the importance of, you brought up the schedule. I think I personally don't know how people function without a schedule. Like, and my man brought up like how it's sometimes difficult for creatives. Like, what's one of my biggest issues with dealing with, like, being in dealing with music and dancers and shit. Like, I time means the time to me. Like, if it, and like people, we got caught up. What the fuck does that mean? Like, and so my brain, like, I don't even know how people work without any type of schedule or list. I got lists. My list got lists. I'd be like, I'll make a list. Like, my whole, so this, and I'm still, and the funny thing is, it's still a challenge sometimes to stay on point. Like, with my routine and schedule. But like, for me personally, when I'm off, like, or when I'm not, my schedule is off. I mean, I can, like, it's weird. I mean, I'm a Gemini, so I can do the spontaneous shit, but I like a schedule because that helps reel me in. Like, because otherwise, I'm gonna get to it a little bit later. Otherwise, I'm in all sorts
Bruh.
of trouble. Like, my hands. I'm like a kid, the cookie jar. I'm that nigga. Like, all
I don't
sorts of
think
shit.
I don't. I mean, I'm the same way, bro, and I can't stand it. One of my things that I've been working on is dealing with my reaction to that, because it happens in life, and I have a big problem with like people wasting time when that's not what we're supposed to be doing. Or all of the different things that come with people wasting time. I don't react well to it, just like you. It's a pet peeve of mine. I'm like, we all have our own time to do our own things, but there's a commitment when you are joining to do things with someone else, one or more persons. And 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 I get in that mode when I'm like that. I'm like, look, this is everybody's time, including mine. Let's get it. But I have the same feeling, bro. I don't react well to it. I'm really, even right now, I'm speaking in a way to where I feel a little bit more about this than I'm saying, just because it's a constant thing to deal with it, because I encounter it in life. It's a thing. So I feel you, man. And yeah, like, I don't really. I'm a work in progress.
Yeah.
I'm a work in progress, but I will say I'm much better. And to even go back into what you were actually saying, like, I need a, I need things. If we winging it, it's got to be an exception, and we're winging it for a purpose. You know, we winging it because that's what we have to do here. If I don't like to just wing everything. I like to things to be planned out because it's a fact that the bet like that thing you have that you're trying to work on, that's actually a good trait. You know, the only bad thing about it for me or you or anyone would be like if we can't like handle that frustration and anxiety that comes with having that trait. But it's a very good trait to be mindful of not only your time and other people's but other people's times as well. That's a successful trait.
Right.
And it's a fact that people get less done when they're not like that about time. The people in life who get more done, and I'm not speaking for myself, I'm saying we could talk to a million successful people. It's in every successful person's book. It's in anybody who succeeded at anything that took a lot. They always say this, so I'll take their word for it over a broke motherfucker that just want to think what he want to think, or you know, whatever. So, but it's a fact. It's a fact that the better you are with time management, the more. I mean, it's not it. It's common sense. It shouldn't even be. I shouldn't even be stating it like that's a fact. But you know, the world we live in, you have to say stuff like that. But yeah, I'm the same way with time. That takes discipline too. Like being on time, it takes discipline. Fortunately, I learned that from my father and also my mother. I learned that from my parents. They were punctual people because they were immigrants and they had to be. You know, like if they, I mean, I'm not saying they weren't like that in Jamaica, but they'll come up here like they were still poor when I was born. like poor, you know, like I remember a lot of that. I lived in a lot of that. And, so they had to be punctual. So I learned punctuality. So I'm able to be that way as an adult. But whether I had that or not, it's everyone. It counts for everyone. The better you manage your time and the more organized you are with the time, the more you will accomplish. Whether that be on your job, whether it be your goals, whether it be your relationships, anything. It's like a foundational, universal reality. You know.
Right. No, of course. Let's pull up this question here. This is an interesting question here, and I don't know if you want to set it off first or I can go. But why is discipline so hard for people? Why is it so hard to be consistent?
Why is discipline so hard for people? Why is it so hard to be consistent? I think personally, I believe that these are things that are the responsibility of people rearing children. You know, like you're gonna get the building blocks for what you can, how difficult it is gonna be to. And I'm not saying this. I'm not blaming anybody because nothing like that. I'm just saying in the most basic way, like we as human beings learned the foundations of discipline and a host of other things during the years of our rearing and growing up. And people who are imparted with that wisdom during that time, and I'm not going to go into get into socioeconomics, so that's a thing. But just on a basic level, people who are imparted with that earlier in life have an easier time getting it later. Now that doesn't say people can't get it later, because resilient people figure that shit out, and it happens all the time. But if you ask them, they're gonna be like, I figured it out on my own because nobody taught me that shit. That you know what I'm saying? So I think of the first step is like to, hopefully somebody imparted some of that on a person, and then once you're an adult, it's like it's up to you at that point, for better or for worse. I think one reason it's hard to be so consistent is, well, there's many reasons. There could be a million reasons, but I think, oh man, that's that I don't want to just fly off and say something, because that would require a lot of thought, that question. But I will say the first thing that popped into my head is low bars. Like people set a low bar and celebrate at the low bar and don't do much, but just enough to get back to that low bar and celebrate, and then don't do much, just enough to get back to that low bar and celebrate, and call that life. And if someone taught you that that's what life is, that's what you think life is. And somehow life is going to show you different or not.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that's the answer, but that's what popped into my head
just you know, it's not.
procrastinate. Yeah.
It's I mean, there's more than one answer. I mean, for me, the first thing that came to mind for me is really to kind of a different approach in terms of just like, and this I'll just share basically. Like, this is coming from what I'm about to share is coming from like 15 years of study that I personally did in my former tradition. So, but it's just helpful. I mean, again, take what you want, leave the rest. Like, why is it hard? Because this whole shit is hard. This whole like, it doesn't have to be spiritual. You don't have to forget any religion. It's just like being here is full of distractions. Everything's set up for us to not be disciplined. Like so if you turn on the TV, it's like buy, get. Like, so what's the one to get to in the next part of it is like it's all about your senses exploding. Like and like getting the most, fucking the most, eating the most, smoking the most, drinking the most, doing the most, like everything's the biggest, like fucking like and so there's distractions and like it's not set up. I mean, whatever you believe and this shit here, it ain't. It's hard to be disciplined just by just being here, in spite of our good. And this is my personal take on it, and just what I've once I read it and saw it like 15 years ago. I was like, oh, this makes a lot of sense, and it was like, oh, okay. So just being here is fucking hard, man. And like it's like we're swimming upstream against crazy currents. So like everything is, there's nothing here to really help us.
Like, except that the adversity activates us to either fight or flight.
Well, yeah.
Like
it's like then you got to. But I'm saying like just the setup is hard to just be disciplined. It's like yo, like I mean you go on Instagram, you might not even. I mean it's tits, ass, everything. Yo. Yeah. Like it's just like so you know, particularly in like Western countries. So
yeah, I was gonna say that like a lot of what you said is like particularly bigger problems in Western countries than other places. Not to say it doesn't exist other places. It just as an add-on.
Yeah, so, yeah. But yeah,
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. By the way.
Yeah, but it's oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely worse in the West. I mean, we can talk more offline about it, but like it's but the problem with other countries like that are in the Eastern other areas. They think they want to be like the West until they realize how fucked up it is over here in a lot of areas. So, you know, so like it's I've heard it called the Western disease, like in terms of just the you know the whole commercialism, and so you know, but it's everywhere. So you can't. It's not even. So let's not front like it's the entire shit just being in this material space or whatever it is. At least, and it's just, I mean, it doesn't have to be. I mean, look at it from a spiritual angle. You can be like, damn, common sense just says, yeah, it's hard out there. Like it's fucking hard. So, and everything's not a lot really here to help us out. And like you said, then we got it. And then someone said though, you know, it is part of our constitutional nature too. So sometimes our nature, I know people, their nature is they just go with the flow and they're okay and they're happy, Like so, we got to accept it. Like some people.
Well, I mean. There's a place for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I would like to, you know, and this is another discussion. I would like to think even people who go with the flow, there's a level of discipline to succeeding at doing that, because there are people who fail horribly at going with the flow and they all over the place. So I agree. I'm not saying everybody needs to be a fucking stormtrooper, but I'm saying there's a level of discipline that's tied to.
As we say, I think it's about intention though, right? So you can have two people going with the quote unquote going with the flow. One person is totally at peace because they you know what? Here's the thing. I can go with the flow once I know I got all my shit done. So like if I rock out on Saturday, like work, businesses, calls and shit like that, Saturday Eve, I'm getting loose and I'm going with the flow. Whatever, let's go out, let's chill, whatever. So there's two people who can be going with the flow, and one person, like you said, is in total chaos because their whole shit's just and they don't know what to do. They think they're being productive, they're not, right? They're doing like 20 different things and they ain't doing shit.
And that's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
You're doing mad shit and you ain't doing nothing, getting nothing done. And then you got another person that's going with the flow, but they're relaxed and calm about it. Maybe, and their whole vibe and energy is different.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess that speaks to, like, it's kind of semantics on discipline. Discipline doesn't necessarily mean with chevron on your shoulder and salute and marching like that. Discipline can look very relaxed and calm as well. And yeah, so you could go with the flow and be very disciplined.
yo,
Like,
discipline. I mean, I thought you were. For me, discipline means, and I want to get to this, like in terms of really controlling my senses, yo, and it means like I've been called all sorts of shit over this post I did the other day. People, kids, everything, called, family, talking all types of shit, and discipline,
I missed it.
but whatever. Like, it means not flip cursing somebody out on the street, like, or whatever, like road raging because Pittsburgh drivers are crazy, like wild shit. So discipline means for me dialing it back, and like, and when I'm able to, like, where I live, there's like a driveway with this coffee shop, and these motherfuckers, these these motherfuckers sit out they block my garage coming out. They sit out in the parking lot. I got an underground garage. They block the shit, and I come up, and they're all in there just hanging out with their fucking bagels and $9 coffees and shit. And then when I blow the horn, they looking at, or when I drive up, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I blow the horn. So it's a source of anxiety for me every Saturday morning to go out. Like if I go out in the morning, because I know
that sucks.
they're going to be there. But I'm like, all right, yo, these motherfuckers are going to be here probably. And they're going to be how they're going to be. And you can't do anything about it. So, but chill. And and a lot of times I make it out. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, though. That's dope. So that's salute. Because first of all, you got the self-awareness to realize that, like, okay, this gets me like this, and I know it's gonna be like that. What can I do to not feel like this all the time, no matter how difficult it is? That's salute, bro. That's dope to me. And I know that's irritating as hell, but the fruits of stuff like that is what I believe in, and I'm a believer in. Like, it seems like nothing, but as life goes on, you'd be like, oh, I get it. Every time we conquer one of those milestones, and it really starts with first being aware, being honest with oneself. That, like, look, okay, this shit gets me out in a place I don't want to be in, but I know I'm gonna have to deal with it. Some people just will honk and yell for the rest of their life at those people, bro. And then it will become more hateful for most people. Some people, they can blow it off every time, but that's a rarity, right? Somebody who would just be like, ha, these assholes, and let it be that for the next 10 years they live in there. But just to be able to recognize it and be like, okay, I know this is gonna happen. To me, like, in the people in my life, they call that like, celebrate your small victories. Those lead to the victory lap and the finish line.
But but see, that's when it counts, right? Like, so that is a victory, because that's my real life world, right? It's so I can, I've been on meditation retreats and done this and that and taken silent retreats and shit, and cool to be spiritual, like 30 miles in the woods under a tree. But like when you come back home, back to fucking going up 95, and you going back to the crib, and you fucking stuck on the fucking, you stuck on I-95 or whatever it is, and you ready to fucking, that's what it matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like, so whatever mental health or spirituality practice, that's when that shit counts, yo. Like, and it's like, so, you're right. I do look at it as a victory, because it's still hard. I don't do it every week. Trust. There's times I'm like, oh, get the fuck out the way, son.
Bro, it's a lifelong, in my opinion, it's a lifelong task and journey. Like, I can't even really say I honestly look at myself like one day I'll get all of that, and I won't react to that kind of shit like that, and the things that bother me, it won't, whatever, I'm not even sure if that's possible. I just know if I can get better at it every day, a little bit better, then my life actually gets better by proof. I've seen that. And to this day, like even yesterday or today, for sure, like I still like yell at people. I don't yell at people like road rage, but I'd be like, come on, get out the way. Don't you see the sign? Like, and I have to catch myself like, bro, you're actually blood pressuring and raising your temperature a little bit to a complete stranger with no good consequence to come from that,
That's gonna come
like
nothing
just
good.
today, just today. So I say that to say it's an ongoing, just like the rest of the, just what I call it, man, and I say this all the time. The 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 biggest discipline, or the top level of discipline, is self mastery.
Yeah.
Self mastery. Can't master the things around me, but it is possible to master oneself. It's not easy at all. It's hard to change the things about us that don't bring about good consequences, or good, or you know bear good fruit in life. And we live in a world where it's really easy to be complacent and just be like, oh, that's just your nature. Like, I'll just be that, or whatever. And that's cool, because everybody has the right to that. But it doesn't change what I'm saying. I believe the highest form of discipline is self mastery. And I don't know if that's a real goal or not, but I know looking at it like one leads me to be a better person at everything every single day, that I do try to get better at it. Whether it's just a little thing, whether I didn't let that push my blood pressure over the top when that person said whatever, whether that I didn't call that person a bitch when they smash on their brakes in front of me or whatever, or if I didn't say something, whatever it may be, all of the little things that I don't really have to do, that I may do, that actually ain't cool, but people don't look at it like it's not cool. So that's why everyone stays like that. Hence,
Yeah.
we have the world how we have it. The only thing I can be responsible is myself. And if I'm trying to be better, the only way I can really try to be better is by identifying the things that I think aren't the best.
Right.
And that starts with a true introspection and an honest conversation. And that's with the discipline to apply those things to change these I don't want to say bad habits I would like to change, or things about me I may want to change. It's usually reactions to the external world, how I react to the external world, and can I control? Can I learn to control it? I already know we can control every last one of our emotions so they don't fly off the handle. How it's possible, right?
Yeah.
At the very least, at the very least, being practical, I could be better at it as
How about this?
as the days go on. I don't think I'm ever going to be perfect. I don't think anybody ever can. But I look at it like that. Like, look, man, like, this will help me out if I do this every day. I'll feel better. I'll feel better. I'll live better. Everything.
We
better,
can just try. How about that?
Just try.
Like,
Just try.
because
I like trying. I like trying over not trying, because I
just
see what's not
trying
trying.
is better than where you were, than where we were by not trying.
Yep.
Like, so just I'm not even saying get it or get. I'm saying just try, and we're in a better place. Just by putting forth the effort right there alone, you like 50%. You already better, because you recognize, right? That's just with GI Joe. No one is after battle shit, right? Like you there.
Yeah.
So
it seems all like a veiled reality or whatever. People are like, how do you know that? Like, man, I can't prove it. I know it by experience.
Yeah, you just gotta do it. I mean,
yeah, it's always better when I try. It's always worse when I don't.
And we've both. I mean, I think I've been
for good things. For good things, I mean,
what?
Try for good things.
I've been in places where where I can speak from experience, where I've tried and I haven't, and the results were drastically different. So this isn't, I mean, this is just what it is. And you just gotta, this is some stuff you gotta. Somebody tells you something, and then you have to experience it for your own self. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go back to something though, because a man, I don't know if he's still here. He asked like, what was, why people, why it's so hard and stuff. And we said a couple things, but I was thinking about, I had it here. Also, this is for everything. Our association, like who we're around, like if we're and you can plug in discipline, you can plug in whatever word you want to, thing you're trying to be and go for, like you can plug that in and be like, okay, the same thing applies. This is directly from experience. Our association, who I'm hanging out with, is definitely going to, like on a regular basis, is definitely going to influence, like if I'm disciplined or not.
Absolutely.
Or anything else. I mean, it's gonna influence whether I'm doing drugs, or whatever, any of those things,
It's
so that's a big
facts.
that's a big obstacle, because if we're trying to make some serious changes, some real changes, and we're surrounded by bum ass people, and once we really look around and do the scope, and we see there's a bunch of like leeches and blood suckers and non-encouraging motherfuckers and all that, we're gonna have to do some chop 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 chop, or else
Yeah.
the road's that's gonna be mucky. Is my
100%, man. 100%. Like, you can't change the environment you can't change, but you can change what you can. If you can remove yourself from a situation that's not good for you, then do it. Like, oftentimes in life, people can't, and like there's certain things, but there's always something you can do. And I'm with you 100%, bro. Like, because I mean, we are definitely influenced by our environment. Hand in hand with that is like the people we trade ideas with.
course.
You know, like on any level, like, just as much as like if you hanging around some people, physical stuff could happen to you if they got physical stuff coming to you. It's the same way with psychology and the thoughts that we take on as our own.
Right.
But hey, let's check this out. Because you said that, I wanted to run through a couple of these things just real fast.
Oh, yeah,
10, 10 results of good discipline.
Okay.
1, increased productivity. 2, improved health. 3, financial stability. 4, enhanced reputation. 5, emotional resilience. 6, goal achievement. 7, better relationships. 8, personal growth. 9, leadership qualities. And 10, long-term success. Interesting, because a lot of that, like, I think we that naturally covered some of
we
that in
covered.
our
Yeah.
conversation. Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have like you're gonna be mentally better, sharper, so you're gonna make better decisions. So those decisions will probably lead to better health decisions and better financial decisions, which will also lead to better relationships. It all goes hand in hand, and so
It, yeah.
it's it's right there.
Hey, you want to get these the 10 results of bad discipline?
Yeah, of course. 10 results of bad discipline: missed opportunities, poor health, financial problems, damaged reputation, emotional instability. We're all over the place. Seeing those unfinished goals, starting mad shit, right? Strained relationships, lack of growth, low self-esteem, professional, excuse me, failure. So,
Wow. Yeah.
and I've been on both sides.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, 100%. I've been on
right?
both sides. You lie? I would say a person is not being completely honest, not being honest at all, if they say they haven't. Part of life is, if you unless you win everything you've ever attempted, part of life is being on both of these sides of these things, or we have nothing to learn, and none of these experiences will push us to learning,
I don't know. I don't know
or getting
anyone.
better.
I don't know anyone like that, brother. Like, I don't think that person exists. I mean,
Yeah,
so
I don't think this construct, I don't think this life here is designed for that. I think remember how you said earlier, like, this you can't look at this and be like, this isn't difficult. I think the whole premise of this is to apply pressure to catalyze growth. We're here to go through adversity to learn lessons and to grow. And when we don't learn those lessons, the there are consequences to everything, and we just need to figure it out while we're here. It, it's not a place where it's not a floating world. We can't just float through it. Like,
right.
we can't just, things are gonna happen. You're gonna face some adversity. I don't care what level of life you're at. I personally believe it's designed to be like that.
Yeah.
So it activates our personal will. Without these circumstances, what do we get to choose? What is the relevance of having a personal will to make decisions with if there aren't situations that require us to make
Yeah.
decisions? I know
And
this is mad basic. I just believe it's baked in. I think I always used to say, man, whoever said like this is supposed to be easy or at all, anybody whoever said that, like, or like people are supposed to be honest with you, or nah, man, people gonna be whatever they want to be. You got to be able to deal with whatever happens. Whether it's ideal or something you don't want to happen. And I believe those challenges are the reason we're here. We're
Yeah.
here to face these challenges and to learn from them. I know one thing in my life is that when I repeat mistakes, the consequences are harder. Like it just seems like, oh, you knew this. You need a double dose, or like you still ain't learned triple dose. You still ain't learned the shit. Don't kill yourself, bro. For quadruple dose. Like my life, it's everything's been like that. Man, babies even know, bro. They touch that hot heater that one time, they'll never do it again. A baby, like a baby, like you know what I'm saying? Like a baby touch fire one time, they'll know for the rest of their life that shit hurts, that burns. And I think these circumstances that we all come across in our life are a series of events that give us choices to make that, and ultimately at the end of the day, even up to this very point in time, where we are is a result of a series of reactions we had to a series of events, like, and that leads us to wherever we're at. And if that is the case, and I know that moving forward, then I have a lot of room to make, going with experience, I have a lot of room to make some better decisions if I learned anything, so I don't have to bump into things I have in the past. And what I found is with discipline, that I found that 100% true. Like the more I work on my discipline, the better everything gets. It doesn't, not easier. Shit stays hard. Everything stays hard because it's supposed to be. I believe, and I can attest to that. Life hasn't gotten easier, but it's just gotten better. And with every amount of discipline I've been able to, and I still got mad shit to do and things that ain't right, But personally, from experience, with every amount part of discipline I've been able to put into my life to this point, all I've seen is good results for myself. Like
Right.
there might not even be anything anyone could see external, although I've heard different. But I personally that's why discipline is such a big deal to me, because it's it's a basic answer to connected to all of our issues. It just some discipline will actually help solve all of our issues. Personally,
True. True.
you know,
True. And you go
I
back to that
I,
stuff.
I believe people.
You
This
go
is
back
just my
to that
opinion.
self mastery, and in terms of that, like, you know, like my spiritual teacher explained it to me like this, like just after, having all this discipline, he said, because he said, I'm not suffering, but I still have obstacles. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like because a lot of people in the world are suffering right now.
Yeah,
So we're different where you have obstacles and you deal with shit and you. So I always stuck with me like in terms of just looking at shit like that because and we keep saying it not to be Debbie Downer, but yeah, it's supposed to be hard. And so and when you understand since I've understood that and realized that, it's helped me not. There's far less disappointments for me. I mean, like I'm like, oh, okay, word. It was probably supposed to be, and then when it goes well, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's shit. I ain't think
yeah, man,
word. Like, all right,
man. I'm glad you shared that. Like I'm not suffering, but I still have obstacles. That's basically in a nutshell what I was saying. Just what more, wise and compact, and less
you got,
conversational. But that was ultimately the gist of it, man. That's how I feel. It's like I still have a bunch of challenges. I feel good about all of them. Not they don't feel great. I feel good about my prospects in
right.
overcoming the challenges. They don't feel great. Some of them are really difficult, but yeah, I feel you, bro. Thank you for sharing that. Like that's each one teach one. Now your teacher has taught you something that you've
And that's
yeah, I like
what
that.
you want.
Ew.
Yo, and actually, I want to say this. Welcome back, everybody. We're wrapping this up. Talking crazy, episode 16, discussing discipline. You actually said it right. He did. He said, yeah. He said, it's challenges, not obstacles. He said, I don't have. He said, I'm not suffering, but I do have challenges, and but yeah. So yeah, that's just that viewpoint really helped me out. You know what I'm saying? Um, and we got. Let's see. You got the crazy machinery over there. Look at you. Ah, look, you got the MacGyver shit. So I wanted to damn.
Sorry.
Nah,
Sorry.
that's usually me actually. So
Yeah.
so
So yeah, you were saying, good brother.
well, let's get into uh want to close this out with 10 ways to have better discipline and and some things we personally maybe do or whatever. Because my man asked that question in the last joint that I didn't pull up. So we, I'll do it. You started off
Right.
while I'm coughing over
Okay.
here. The 10 ways that
All right. All right. 10 ways. All right. And you'll get the next 10. Yeah.
little 5 or whatever we got.
No, no.
Yeah.
No,
But
we got it. We got it. We got it. Here we go. Check. Oh, you want to go 5 and 5?
5 and 5.
All right. Check it out. 10 ways to have better discipline. 1, set clear goals. 2, prioritize tasks. 3, develop routines. 4, eliminate distractions. 5, break tasks into steps.
Mm. Practice mindfulness. We stay present, right? We can build on these too. Reward progress. Celebrate small wins. Stay motivated. Stay accountable. Learn time management. Build self-awareness. Critical
Yeah.
stuff. I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
post these. Yeah, it's really critical, man, because especially if these things aren't automatically built in. I mean, we didn't all come from like military families or super strict families. Some of us did, some of us didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us had different rules for different parents. If we were visiting different parents, you know what I'm saying? So all types of shit. But like I personally, just in terms of like personally what I do, lists help me. You know what I'm saying? Lists. Like
Yeah.
all day. Lists help me like crazy. Like just if I don't have lists, I'm losing my shit because it's all like then now my mind's going and I'm like so that's one thing that helps me with at least breaking shit out into smaller pieces, like it said here.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Man, lists definitely help. Scheduling, um, like knowing what I'm gonna do that day, having it structured before I get up. Unless it's a day I don't, even the days I don't do nothing, I'm like I'm not doing nothing. But knowing what my day is gonna be, not waking up trying to make the plan in the morning. You know, like what am I gonna do today? That's somebody who got it all, and they have created the environment where they can wake up like that. If you waking up like that and you ain't got it all, you'll never get more than what you got. In my opinion, and I'm again, I'm not trying to be judgmental. This is just what I believe.
You good, Mark?
Um, Also, um, we talked about this earlier in the episode. Reward progress. And I said it as like as celebrating the small wins. It's something that like like my girlfriend says that all the time. Like you always had it, man. Like because I don't really look at it like, oh, I did that. I'm like done. Like what I got to do next? I ain't there. And she's like, bruh, you need to like you need to celebrate the small wins. I would always be like, I mean, I don't want to get complacent and get into like that'll be my excuse. Like that's like somehow it's gonna make me feel like I think I'm where I need to be, and that's not the case, and that's just gonna make me get up and go. And I had to learn. I had to learn that. Like I needed help
That's
with
big.
that. I needed assistance with somebody from the outside, not only who believed that themselves, but believed I needed to do that based off what they saw.
That's big. Big
So
stuff.
yeah, that's a huge one. That's number 7 on here. That's huge though. That was we all have different things. That's a big one for me. That I always looked at it like I don't know, like that ain't it. Like I'm glad I did. Okay, that's cool. I don't feel I'm there yet, and this ain't where and I could have been like that forever because that's ultimately what it was, because I like to accomplish, I like to finish things, I like to achieve
Yeah.
things. It makes me feel a way,
Sure.
like with setting out a goal and making it happen
Yeah.
is something
Sure.
I like in life. So
Yo,
so I but then yeah, but then like I could just be like that and there's no long plan, just a short plan of just conquering everything in front of me. But that caused burnout because you never really see nothing beyond the horizon, man. You always just going towards it,
well, that's
and
what I said.
there's
Set clear goals, right?
yeah, set clear goals,
Like and
set clear.
distinguish them and prioritize, right? Like one of the things I've struggled with is having a lot of ideas. I've had more T-shirt companies than you can imagine, more businesses and more things. I never really finished something. Like I've got great ideas, and actually me doing what I'm doing with this this whole CTC stuff has been the longest I've really stuck with something for it's been going on 8 years as far as like, well, just some other things, but I do a lot of
Salute.
different. So I appreciate you. So, um, and but that's been a big thing, focus on mine, making sure like finish, make the goals realistic too, because also they got to be not easy. I took a seminar on goal setting. It's like they shouldn't be easy. What the seminar said, but they shouldn't be outrageous. So they got to be somewhere in between where like, they're lofty, but they're not like you're just smashing them because then it's like, what's the point? So, but
Man,
those
agreed.
those are some things we should post this show. This is you and your chat GTP. Fucking that was dope. Fucking
Man, hey, let's just run the last five
there's
real
no
quick. Let's do the same thing.
more.
The last you didn't get the
Oh,
yeah,
10
you
ways.
see
Yeah,
it?
I didn't see this.
Yeah.
The 10 ways that weaken one's discipline. Right.
All right.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. All right. Procrastination, delaying tasks, increases stress. Lack of clear goals, no direction. Overcommitment, big one. Taking on too much. Negative self-talk, poor health habits, inadequate sleep. Ding, 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 ding. Uh, unrealistic expectations, surrounding yourself with negativity, lack of routine, ignoring consequences, indulging in temptations, giving oh my goodness, damn.
That's number 10. Indulging in temptations. It's interesting what that entails, right? Giving in to instant gratification weakens self-control over time.
Mm.
That doesn't mean be a square, but you know, it. I
Yo,
think I think all of these things, like, and how they're all linked to discipline, is mad interesting to me because it really covers like just so much that we all had. That every single person, no one is what's the word? No one is quarantined from this. I can't
exempt,
think of the word right now. No,
exempt,
exempt. No one is exempt from any of these things to some level in their life. I don't care if you're the poorest person or the richest person. You know what I'm saying? Male or female or whatever else.
or immune,
Somebody
or
wrote impervious immune. Thank you, people.
look at you guys.
It's what I mean.
No, we good.
Now, I think it's just dope because the word discipline alone, the one word, encompasses all of these things, and all of these things are life changing. Every last one of these things, if we implement these into our life to some degree more, as much as we can, everything gets better. Like it's uh, living the life and doing it is the difficult part, but what it is mad simple.
Yeah,
It's just hard. It's the hardest thing to do is to master your own emotions. It is
simple to,
by
simple to understand. The
yeah,
application is difficult.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean, we put so much energy into our reasonings for not doing that, all the way to anger, all the way to deflection, all the way to like minimizing all the things that we do that end up being parts of our personality, and they just like that is a lot of times all just ways to avoid discipline.
yeah. I mean, again, the
I
lies we
mean,
tell ourselves, right? So
yeah,
goes back to that, and all of this again comes back to us, right? To us having self awareness, us taking self accountability, responsibility, and doing the things that we need to do. Myself, I mean, like I'm sitting here in my head, I'm like, fuck, fuck, fuck,
me,
fuck, fuck it.
me too,
You know what I'm
me
saying?
too, bro.
Fuck,
Even reading all of this, I'm like, yep,
like
yep,
fuck,
yep.
fuck,
I,
fuck,
I got
fuck.
a, I got a couple things, man. I'm
But
like, fuck, bro. That's
but
gonna,
it's good
you
though,
know,
you know what I'm saying? Because if we weren't, then it didn't. Again, always all I'm saying is like, right, just try it. Oh, I'm just trying, man. We all swimming upstream, and that's the whole thing. This whole, us. There's 6 people here. Like
and,
everybody else is
and,
doing other shit. Like you know what I mean? Like it's we're discuss. It's not like everybody's discussing this stuff right now. I'm just saying like it's work. It takes work,
yeah,
yo. It takes effort. It
yeah.
takes us to coordinate and all this shit to talk about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's you know
And trying keeping in mind that the thing is, it gets better by trying, even if it doesn't seem like it and doesn't feel like it by trying. That's the part to
Just
connect to.
just
Connect.
by trying.
Yeah, just by trying.
Just by trying.
Just by trying.
Just,
And it's one of those things where you gotta believe it, and it's always right every time you believed it and went through it. But you can't really. It's hard to explain to anybody except like just do it. I could say that anytime I've implemented any of these things in my life consciously and with effort, it has helped tremendously,
without a
bro.
doubt.
Like tremendous, like to
Without
the point to where I don't know what to say, but just what you said, just try. Trust me, just try,
right,
bro.
right. Like, and
Yes,
this is
yes, it's difficult. It's difficult, and not just try what you think. Try the things that are difficult, like the things on this list. Not like I think I need to. Nah, try the things that are classically fucked up that you about yourself that you avoid all the time. Try those things. That's what we're talking about trying. We're not talking about like have some new ideas. You know what I mean?
someone said no. That's why I said no participation trophies. But in this, here's the thing: it's different than
No
being in school.
participation.
It's not. This isn't school. Like where if you don't get the grade, you fail. Like in life, spiritual knowledge and life knowledge, like you learn as you fuck up, and like so the trying here does get you the fucking A, like or it gets you up there because it's because half the motherfuckers out here ain't even trying. Like
Yeah.
people are not trying. People are just we're just going with the flow of bullshit. So just the trying alone is like, yo, pat yourself on the fucking back, man. Like because it's a it's a very it's a small thing. It's a big thing, and a lot of people aren't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Yo, we gotta get out.
Anybody who wants a life better, like this is one thing that works. And nobody's exempt from this. It works for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, like
This is good. Yeah, I mean it is.
But
we got listen, we gotta get out of here. But before we do, I do want to just quick check in. What you up to musically? And man, I mean I haven't we haven't talked really much lately about, and it's cool. It's just, but I'm like, damn, what's this cat up to? So
oh
like,
man, a lot's been going on. You know, we've been like really active, just traveling around
no
at Souls of
shit.
Mischief. We finished the album. We're in the process of mixing and mastering now, the Souls of Mischief, that is, and it's like it's done, except for the mixing and mastering, and we're probably gonna have to be. If I want to be practical, we'll probably be dropping a bunch of songs, but the album probably summer, fall. You know what I mean? This 2025. So we'll start dropping stuff first quarter, and take it from there. Also, Hieroglyphics is working on an album. We're like recording. We have actual start of a record. Like it's an early start, but it's a start. And yeah, so that's going good. I like what I'm hearing, and I'm looking forward to actually getting more music done. And that we're on that right now. So I know I heard the Del Domino album and that thing is fire. I probably shouldn't even really be saying
No,
much
Domino
about it, but you
told me in the build. So
okay, cool. Yeah,
Domino. Yeah, so you guys know Domino did announce Del Domino. I don't know. He didn't say release, but that's.
yeah,
So I mean, you know more about that, obviously. But yeah, that's in the works.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's really good. And also to round it out, me, Dell, and I are also working on. This is going to come after Domino's record because that's more in the works. But me and Dell have an album called Hypnotize. We've been talking about this album for mad long, but we're actually recording it and have songs done now. So we've been conceptualizing the album for years, and it's a dope topic. It's called Hypnotize, and it's really about the psychology of modern times, but not like a preachy take. It's just like that's the overall concept of the album, and the music is going to be arranged within that topic. So yeah.
so
And
Souls of Mischief 2025 Hyro album in the works. Just recapping. You can keep going. Hyro album in the works. Del Domino, which whenever that is, that's coming, and then you and Del. Go ahead.
And I'm managing an artist named Adeus. He's fire, and he's growing right now, and he's a R&B artist.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how much you'll be into it. I don't know how much
R&B, nigga. I
know what I'm saying? I shouldn't assume, bro.
Damn, son.
I shouldn't
Like,
assume,
man,
bro. I feel you,
niggas,
man. But
I came up in the 80s and 90s, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like Anita Baker, nigga, though. I mean, I'm, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I fuck
you
with
know
real,
what? My
I fuck
bad,
with
brother.
real R&B, my G.
Well,
Come on, man.
you're gonna like this young brother, man, because
Yeah.
he's a young cat, but he's like he's like his I don't want to like box him in or nothing, but people that I know who like him and be like, oh yeah, this is reminds me of like 90s R&B but modern. You know, it's anyway, I don't want to put no labels on him. He's a young mega talented artist,
You
the
guys,
gayest.
he online, he on socials?
Yeah, he's on socials.
Yeah. Shit. What's
He's
it?
on
Spell it. Spell it.
Spotify,
Spell it.
Apple, AdaYus.
Hold on. I'm gonna add this nigga. Hold on. A.
DA.
What the fuck? I'm smoked out too. Shit, my letters are good. ADAYUS.
US. Yes, sir. Yeah, and we're growing it. Like he's like a grassroots, ground level artist. He's
He's from
like really young.
Oakland? You from Oakland?
Yeah, he's from Stockton. He's from out this way though. Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Stockton.
yeah. From Stockton, and I'm managing him, trying to impart some of the stuff I learned in the business to steer the young brother the right way. He's mega talented. I had the utmost belief in him, and so yeah, I've been working on that a lot. As much as I work on everything else, it's like a very fun, passionate music project. Being triple OG now and being able to like share some of the stuff I learned to avoid some pitfalls for a younger artist. Because High Road, we did our business the right way, man, and I just want to pass that on. So he's mega talented. Look out for him. Adaeus, yeah, check him out.
Dope.
All streaming platforms. We put out like 3 songs his first 3 songs last year. 3 songs, 3 songs this year. Another one coming out before the end of the year, and we're gonna pick it up next quarter. Just growing his fan base and getting the word out.
Dope. I'll be on the lookout.
Yep.
So.
Word up.
Word, all good things, man. I'm glad.
My
I'm
brother.
glad. Good to hear. Still getting it in. I want to try to get everybody. I think Casual just dropped an album, or he's dropping one soon too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So fucking staying working. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, man. Always fun. Always good. Appreciate everybody here. This was good. We do this the third Monday of each month. Third Monday of each month. And all of our prior episodes on Carrying the Culture YouTube channel. So.
Yeah. Check them out on Carrying the Culture YouTube. And yeah, man, I love you, my brother. This is always a dope time for me. I love chopping it with you. I love hopefully people can get something positive from it. And till next time, man. Be well.
Yeah, and if not, we did, you know what I'm saying? So, but good conversation, good comments, good questions. And it's always a good thing. And like I said, this is the most important show that I do. This is about like my fucking life and my heart and my brain and my well-being. And so it helps me think. I'm sitting here like, damn, I gotta get ready to go to bed. And like I'm all right, so
same, man.
It's good, man. So these conversations are much needed. I appreciate you. Wait, what did we say the next one was going to be? I forgot. Fucking
gratitude. If we didn't do it already, we have to look back.
Gratitude. If not, we'll do something else. But so until the next time. If I don't talk to you, have a safe New Year. Whatever holiday, Kwanzaa, Festivus, whatever the fuck. Nothing of us. Just chill of us. You know what I'm saying? But just be safe out there. And yeah, man. We'll until next time, brother. We'll have
blessings to you and the fam, my brother. Happy holidays, happy New Year, and blessed life, brother.
Yeah, you too. Peace to everybody in the chat. We're doing it again. We'll get a clip up probably about a week or so. Salute y'all. Peace.